Hello, welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast. Bit of a different video for today. It's a treasure hunt. I'm wanting to know whether anybody's seen my Mojo because I seem to have lost it. So if you're wondering what on earth I'm talking about, stay tuned and you'll get a little bit of a deep dive into the history of my business and my vlogging, and an explanation as to why I think I've lost my mojo. Oh dear, and it's very windy. It's very, very windy. My wafty bits are all sticking in me. So make sure you've subscribed and make sure that you've hit the bell for notifications before we go any further. So, my mojo. Right, well, let's start, shall we, with why I don't look my normal cheerful bubbly self and why I look like I'm just about ready for falling to sleep. That's because I am ready for falling to sleep. So I've had a mojo for many years. I started my business back in 1992, I think it were, with my dad. And we, for many years, for 30 odd years, we both worked like navvies. If you remember those old navigators that used to come from Ireland and dig out canals. Well, it was like the modern day equivalent. We used to do 60 and 70 hours a week, every week. We didn't have any holidays. There was nothing like that. Just slog, just hardcore, wall-to-wall slog. So we'd already started a business in 1992, and then when we came here, we started publishing Visit Fylde Coast in 2010. And I've never had a problem with work. It's never bothered me at all. I've had odd periods of time when I've sort of thought, oh, don't want to do this. But that's natural. I mean, everybody does that, don't they? But I've never really thought about sort of how many hours I've worked or how much I've got paid per hour or anything like that. Being self-employed is totally different to working for somebody else. You do it with a completely different attitude. So that's kind of the backdrop to it, a lifetime of slog. But at the same time, we were juggling my grandma, who was really ill. Then my mum, who was really ill. Now my dad's really ill. So there's all that going off at the same time, plus all the volunteering stuff that I do as well. And I enjoy Care for Cleefleys. I love being at the shop. It's my happy place. We've still got loads of DIY to finish. There's still loads of jobs to do. We're not finished yet, but we're, I would say, 70% of the way there. We've got a lot done. We've moved mountains. Bearing in mind we got the keys on, I think it was the 25th of April. So it's 19th today, isn't it? So that's May, June, July, August. In 4 months, we've completely converted a building and done it all up. We've opened a shop, we've been trading, and we've done everything ourselves. Nobody's told us what to do. So that's that. And now we're starting with things like coffee mornings and craft sessions and making stock for the shop, making stock to sell, making new products and nice gifts and crafts and whatnot. So it's non-stop. It's all go every day. And I must just say at this point that the volunteers are brilliant. And without each and every one of them, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing now. So please don't think it's all just me, because it's far from it. It's a brilliant team. They're lovely people. I love each and every one of them, and we're like a nutty dysfunctional family. But it's all go every day, from the minute that I get up until the minute that I go to sleep. I am at it constantly, non-stop. I am just so tired. I just feel like I could go to sleep, Satty. So, just to give you some idea, and I think that's why I've lost my mojo. I just feel like at the minute I want to just, especially now that the weather's starting to change, I just feel like I want to curl up on the settee with a cup of tea, put the television on and do some really basic, simple, mindless crafting. Something like some colouring in or making bracelets or something like that. So to put it into context, here's a little idea of what I am actually doing. So I get up every morning as early as I can. So that can be anything in between 5 o'clock and 6:30, depending on how exhausted I am and how long I sleep in. Ideally 5 o'clock. So from the crack of dawn, I'm doing admin. Like this morning in the dark. So I do my visit file course work, I do my processing of my videos and uploading them and getting them ready for site later on in the day. I do my Care for Cleveland's admin and do all the paperwork and the book stuff. Not bookkeeping, because that's not my job. We've got our super duper treasurer Sue that does that, but there's a lot of sort of working out and calculating and deciding to be done before you get to an invoice. So I send out the e-news, I keep the what's on up to date, so I add hundreds of events to the events calendar. I edit web pages and do all that kind of stuff. So depending on what I'm doing during the day, I could be sat 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, just from getting out of bed. So I've done a full day's work before most people have even got up. Kevin. He'll shoot me when he watches this. And then on top of that, there's all the admin and all the running around and all the stuff for Care for Cleveland's, like working on the counter. So I'm doing Saturday afternoons most weeks if you want to pop in and say hello. There's all the behind the scenes stuff and the tidying up and the sorting out and putting stuff away. So quite often we close the shop at 4 o'clock, and if I'm there, I'll be there until 6 o'clock, just tidying up and putting stuff away and trying to make order from chaos. Then we've got our big events that are by and large organised by me. So things like the dancing on the prom, the entertainment and the stalls and who goes where and what we're doing for this and what we're doing for that. Social media is my job. Small events are my job. Managing funding and reporting back on the grants that we've had is my job. So the dancing on the prom, we've got a relatively small allocation. It was only £1,000 that we got grant funding. The rest of that event we were putting on ourselves. But when you get grant funding, you've always got to report back and account for every penny that you've had, every penny that you've spent, what effect it's had, what you've done with it, how many people came, how many people volunteered, how many hours, and the paperwork's endless. And then, of course, we've got to start thinking about 2026 and planning next year and what we're going to do looking ahead, because you can't just concentrate on today. You've got to think about, months, years in front. And then we've got the big projects as well and big things that we want to deliver, like Christmas. Daniel, bless him, he's doing a fantastic job for Christmas. So I'll tell you more about that another time. But there's still quite a bit of things to do and things to plan, and big other projects that we do. So, and then on top of all that, I've got my dad and Kevin to look after. So there's things like housework and meals and washing and shopping and all that kind of thing. Keep deputising to Kevin. Seriously, I'm whining and I'm moaning, but it's what probably every other woman all over the country does. I just feel so tired. So my question to you is, number one, where's my mojo? And number two, have you got any ideas? Have you got any ideas how I could zhuzh up my YouTube channel and make it more interesting and make it the kind of things that you want to watch and make it in an easier way for me to manage on top of everything else that I'm doing? So, for example, we're getting to the middle of September, the end of September, and the weather's turned. It's even in the last week or so, it's gone really cold and windy and rainy and wet and miserable. which makes it difficult to do walking about videos. So would you be interested in watching videos of me just talking, me telling you what's happening in Blackpool, what's happening on the coast, just general chit chat, things like that, which I can film from inside. I can film things like that in the office or at the shop. Would you be interested in more videos from the shop? What would you enjoy that doesn't mean I've got to go walking miles and getting wet and blown to death? So if you've got any bright ideas, I would love to see your comments. Put your suggestions underneath, put them in the comment, and let me know what you think, because I really don't want to stop doing YouTube. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy going out and making videos. I just need to work out how that's going to dovetail into everything else that I'm doing, because something's going to have to give, because I'm going to fall to sleep. I feel like I'm going to fall to sleep, Satty. I think I've talked myself into a stupor. I've bored myself to death. I look like I've been on the gin, don't I? Looking on the bright side, the sun's coming out while I'm sitting here. Oh, it could be a lot worse. I'm not complaining. It's a lovely life. It's a lovely place. I know some amazing people. And by no means do I underestimate what everybody does. I'm not saying for 1 minute that there's only me doing anything and everybody else is twiddling their thumbs. I'm just tired. I feel like I want a month on a desert island. So, over to you for comments, suggestions and ideas. All ideas gratefully received. And with that, I shall see you next time. Bye for now.